All right, let's talk a little bit about the interview itself. For your CCAR answers, I like to have an opening statement. Rather than just launching into the story, I like to kind of what I call tee it up. You know, I've been interacting with customers in every position over the course of my career. I've interacted with them in person. I've interacted with them over the phone. My customers have been both internal and external, and my performance reviews have always rated me highly for customer service. One particular example that highlights my expertise in customer service is, and then you can go into the example. So that tee-up statement, that opening statement, gives the interviewers a sense of scope, that your customer service thing is not a one-off, that it's something you routinely do. I think it is critical that you practice your stories out loud, and hopefully someone will actually give you feedback. You may also want to record yourself. That's a great way to pick up on your tics, the or if you're someone who wants to play with something and you're clicking on the table with a pen or what have you. But practicing your stories out loud so they sound fluid and it's a true story, and getting real honest feedback on your interview responses is critical too. And again, I really think 6 to 8 stories is enough to get you where you need to go for almost all of your interviews. All right. Every federal agency is required to post their strategic plan online. And you should be able to Google the strategic plan and operating plans for your organization. They make for fascinating reading if you haven't ever done that. I would encourage you to read those, and that may help you frame some of your responses, and it shows that you're paying attention. Also, some hiring managers like to ask a question along the lines of, what do you know about our organization? And it's a great opportunity to show that you've done your homework. And most hiring managers want to know that you care enough about the job to do your homework. So spend a little bit of time researching the organization. And, you know, these days, there's no excuse for not doing that. I think it is also critical to walk into the interview with questions for the interviewer. I generally recommend having about 6 to 8 questions, because some of the questions you walk in with are likely to be answered over the course of the interview. And you still want to be left with 3 or 4 questions that you can ask. So if you walk in with double that, you'll be in pretty good shape. The key thing to think about in terms of the questions is that the question shouldn't be about you and what you need or you want. The question should be all about demonstrating how you are interested in meeting the employer's needs. So you should never ask about when you'll be promoted, how much training you'll get, when you can telecommute, any of those things that are very self-interested. And please don't say you don't have any questions. Again, it sends a message to the hiring manager that you're not that interested or you couldn't be bothered. So what are some good questions to ask? What are the next steps in the process? What do you want someone to accomplish in their first 90 days, in their first year? That'll give you a great idea of what's on the hiring manager's minds. What challenges for this program do you see over the next year or so? What made the person who held this job before successful? What would you like to see continued based on what that person did? And if you have enough nerve, what would you like to see done differently? What do you enjoy most about your job? Right? These are questions that show interest in the organization. So you should always have questions prepared.